All right, awesome. So thank you guys for joining us on our monthly team call. We have these every third Wednesday of the month. So mark your calendar ahead of time. Summer's coming. It's going to be insane. And it's just going to get busier, right? So if you can make it 9 o'clock every third Wednesday of the month, be here. It's a good time to have like a community, a little bit of training, get to hear each other's voices and personalities, which I know we do on the thread, which I love. But it's just an added thing that we can hang out for 30 minutes once a month. And then also remember, if you're new to the team or maybe you haven't been here for a full month and you're like trying to remember everything, the second and the fourth Thursday of the month, every second and fourth Thursday of the month, 9 p.m., we do business opportunity call. And this one is separate from the corporate call. We do our own. We want you to invite your people to ours so they can understand our team vibe and our community and just get a feel for what they're going to be getting themselves into in a positive way. And the corporate calls are great, but we feel that we show our true colors and our team and attract more people doing it ourselves twice a month. So keep that in mind. The second and the fourth Thursday of the month, 9 p.m., is our business opportunity call. That means anybody who's not a rep yet, you want to invite them 30, 35 minutes, get them to join as a rep. We'll do all the talking. You just show up for support. And then the third Wednesday of the month at 9 p.m. is our team call. So everybody who's a rep would be here for that. All right. So we have a new product that we want to talk about. And I think I'm pronouncing this right, EMILIN. But EMILIN is a plant-based compound, and it is a treatment that we're finding is helping with diabetes, obesity, and other related disorders that they aren't even 100% sure of yet, which is super exciting because there are so many of those people who struggle with those things and they're medicated, which I'm not going to talk bad about medications. If you need medicine, you should take them. But what if there's a way to take less medicine, or for some people, maybe not have to take any because they're getting what they need from a plant, something natural from the earth. So this is super exciting. This is up and coming. We will not be the only company to have this, but right now we are. So it is a patent, so nobody else will have our exact formula, but once word starts getting out in the coming years, you can bet that this simple, like such as CBD oil or even magic coffee, weight loss coffee, there's several different types, right? This is going to be no different. So right now, though, we are the only one that I know of, and I did Google it, and Valentis was the only company. So that's super exciting. So get the word out about this. A little bit more about this specific product is how does it work? So I used a link that Jesse found, actually, and I put it in on our team page and our team thread. If you have 15, 20 minutes, I highly suggest that you read through that. There is so much information. It's exciting, and you can create your own post. Again, you could use mine that I posted on my coffee page. No problem. You're able to use that. But just so that you know all of it from start to finish, go through that link, and I'll repost it after this call so you can find it easily. And just read about this. It's an amazing product. But the first thing that it does, it obstructs the transition from starch to sugar. So we all know that when we eat a not so healthy carbohydrate, that turns into sugar in our body. When we eat it and when we're digesting it, our body automatically turns that to sugar. And we either have to burn it or we're going to absorb it. And this EMILIN product, it will transition it from doing that in our system, which is quite amazing. It also blocks the pathway of sugar to our bloodstream. So that means when you eat a whole bunch of carbs and you're like, I need a nap, or, I'm so tired, or I'm like on a carb coma, we call that, that's what we say at our house. This is going to block that from happening. Now, I don't believe that Dr. Joe said, hey guys, just take this and eat all the carbs you want, because he's very much health-minded. But when you do eat carbs, we need some help sometimes, and this product will do that. It also draws sugar out of our fat tissue, which to me is amazing because before we use this product, we've already converted that sugar and it is in our fat tissue and it's just hanging out there. This is going to actually obstruct that from our fat tissue and help us lose weight and burn that yucky fat tissue. So that is a super, super fast, like insane rundown on what exactly this is, okay? So do you guys have any questions that I may or may not, truthfully, be able to answer at this point without looking at the link that I'll send, or just over what I talked about with those 2 slides? Does it create any questions for you that maybe your customers are already asking or that you have off the top of your head? If you do, unmute yourself and I can try to answer them.
Is it a pill?
Yes. And I don't know the dosage. Does anybody have, that is not on the bottle, is it? For those of you.
Yes, it is, Stacy. It's 2 a day with food.
With food, okay. And it does not say like AM or PM, it just says 2 a day?
It does not. I asked Greg today and he's not got his yet either. But he said if it says 2 a day with food, it's just 2 a day with food.
Okay.
I will tell you, doing the research I did on it, because my dad is diabetic, the metformin, which is what most diabetics take, type 1, saw with it combined with metformin, it was like a 28% decrease in their A1C. So in the studies that's been done on it, because I've done a lot of looking at it with the studies that's going on, he's fixing to start taking it, so we'll see how it goes. He didn't like the coffee, so I was like, hey, this is something different, and let's try it. So
awesome. Well, that's exciting. So yes, make sure that he's logging like his blood sugar numbers before he starts, and then as the days he's using it, because I mean, he could be an awesome, just like you're an awesome testimonial for the coffee, he could be like an amazing testimonial for this new product too, you know?
Yeah, definitely. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a game changer.
Yes.
And this one from the link that I shared with you guys, I think that he made this before he made the 24/7. So they work very similar from what I've read.
And it is safe, he said, to take the 24/7, the EMILIN, the coffee or cocoa, and the black water. Like it all works together. So if you have all the products and you want to use them all, you can. I don't necessarily know if you have to get the most benefits, but I know that they all do different things, or they all piece together in a different way, like a puzzle. It's not necessary that you use them all. Does that make sense? But you could if you have them and you wanted to try them out. Did somebody want to say something? The 845 number?
No, that's me, Debbie.
Okay, sorry. Your little box lit up and then I started talking, so I thought I cut you off. Okay, all right. So I'm going to share my screen again, and then we'll move on to this. Okay. Go ahead. You
hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, I have a question for you. Somebody wanted to know if you can do the coffee in the morning, the Hibernate, and the 24/7, since the Hibernate and 24/7 do totally different things. Is it too much?
Honestly, what do you think, Melissa? Is Karen's or Aaron's not here? What do you think from a nurse perspective? And if you don't want to be put on the spot because you're not sure, it's okay. But knowing they both had melatonin and what do you think about?
I'd have to look at that. Did they try one at a time first?
No, she does the coffee and she wanted to add something else. So I gave her the 24/7 to try that. But I love the Hibernate, and I was telling her about that. And she said, well, why can't I take both? Because they do two different things. And right. I said, I don't know. I will find that out. But to be honest with you, the Hibernate does not let me sleep. So for me, it doesn't. Nothing really helps me sleep.
Because
Right.
the 24/7 only has 4 milligrams of melatonin in it.
Oh, it does.
Very, very small. Where the hibernate has a higher percentage, a higher microgram or whatever, whatever it is.
Okay. So
Yeah.
should she not take them together? Should she try one and then the following month try a different one?
That's probably what I would do, is try one and then see how that works for her, and then maybe try the other one and see what works better.
Okay, so don't take them both together.
I wouldn't start that way. I would try
Okay.
one first.
All right, thanks.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. I like to see you guys' faces when we're talking. All right, so, all right. We wanted to talk, it's funny because every Wednesday, you guys probably think like we are just on the ball, but it's funny because Amanda and I will, on Wednesdays, team call days, will be like, so what are we going to talk about? Because we obviously want these calls to be informative and training, but we also don't want it to be so repetitive that it's like I wasted 30 minutes on a Wednesday when I could have been on the couch chilling with my husband or my wife, you know what I mean? Like relaxing. We want it to be worth your time. So it is a little bit, not stressful, but it is a little bit, you know, we have high expectations for ourselves. And so we got talking and she had mentioned that we both were with Beachbody and we used to talk about these types of things with Beachbody and we never did with coffee because as you buy the Ruby kit and you have skin in the game, as you call it, and you've purchased your business kit, the majority of us aren't just going to sit there and do nothing after spending a chunk of money like that. Where at Beachbody, you could get in for a very, very low cost and you had the choice to really do nothing. And most people did. And that was fine. That was what they wanted to do. So we really didn't feel like this was applicable, but it is because everybody's seasons in our lives, we change, right? Things happen, things change. And so ebbs and flows of life in general, as it happens, we want to give these types of things a name, these rep types. And Amanda and I are both going to talk. So Amanda, unmute yourself, and then anything you want to jump in, just jump in. Okay. But either a hobby rep or a business builder rep. So those are really the two reps that we would consider here in the coffee business. And so we're going to get into what that means, if this lets me do it. Okay. So a hobby rep, real quick, they love our products. They get their loyalty purchase every month because they're using the products. They share them on their social media on occasion. Nothing consistent. They might see someone at the post office and the rep at the post office might be like, wow, you look great, you know, or what are you doing? It looks like you lost some weight, or I don't know how much the post office would say that, but I go there so much. Those people are my friends. And, you know, and she might say, or he might say, yeah, you know, I've been drinking this magic coffee that I'm here actually mailing, and just have like a conversation. Nothing like, oh my gosh, I have to talk to 5 people today. You know, it's very, very, I share it as it comes up, as I feel, as people ask or whatever, very, very nonchalantly. They don't have set hours. They don't say, okay, I'm going to dedicate a certain amount of time every week. I just work when I can. I'll answer messages, and it's very much a hobby, and that's where they're at. And then also the income of a hobby rep wouldn't be a consistent, gradual up climb from what a business builder would be, because the way that they're building their business is much different. Amanda, do you have anything else you want to say about a hobby rep?
I feel like right now we should put the disclaimer out there that this is perfectly fine if this is where you are. This is not to say you have to be one or the other. We all have very different things going on in our lives. Maybe you're a stay-at-home mom and you want to dedicate your world to building a business. Maybe, you know, I had people emailing me all day and messaging me, and I was in Interview Central all day. I couldn't do it. Like, I have to separate my time at my corporate job from this sometimes. So we're all kind of in a different place, and it's okay wherever you are, whichever one of these you are. The point of this is for us to help align your expectations with your behaviors. So that's all I'm going to say real quick.
And then a business builder, the differences would be you love the products. Again, you're getting your loyalty purchase every month because you're using it. You share the products every day on social media, in person. You might be doing Instagram stories or Facebook stories. The point is, you want everybody to know that if they're looking to lose weight, get healthy, drink coffee, to do those things, you're their girl or their guy. Like, there's nobody else. It has to be you because you're always in their face in a good way, a positive way, in a non-salesy way. You're their magic coffee person. You dedicate 5 or more hours a week to the business. 5 hours literally goes by so fast. So when I said 5 hours, I'm like, wow, that's not a lot. And when you think about it, it is a lot because 5 hours is 5 hours. But if it's throughout a whole 7-day period, that's a heck of a lot of hours to only be 5. So we just said 5. It's probably more. And this is meaning posting on social media. This is answering messages. This is talking to people, new people, maybe saying, wow, I saw this post that you went to the doctor and you're not happy with your weight and they said you need to lose some weight. Can I tell you about this product that I found that's working for me? That's the type of messages you'll be sending that we consider cold messages. So that's way more than 5 hours, okay? You make a consistent income and it does grow, right? It might not grow by leaps and bounds every week, but you are seeing a pattern that's consistent, even if it's $20 here and there. Like, you are growing your business and it is going up, right? You're not losing income week by week by putting in this time. So, Amanda, are you good with that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then the next thing, which I'm going to let Amanda take this one, and you can tell you can tell her you can't. It's up to you. But the way that she this is all her, this slide. She can do this, and she's starting a podcast, so stay tuned. But this is totally true. Like, this is it.
So when we were trying to figure out what the last slide should say, this came to me and I was like, oh my God, I'm a genius. I'm going to start a podcast and write a book. I'm not. This is as good as it gets. But the point of doing this training tonight is, and let me just kind of go back. When I was a Beachbody coach, I had a team of people who they were either a hobby coach or a business builder coach. And a lot of the business builders, or a lot of the people who were identifying and saying they wanted to be a business builder, they had these big goals. They wanted to be debt free by a certain time, or they wanted to, buy a new car by a certain time, or have this much in savings by a certain time. Visions are great. And those people were saying, I'm going to be a business builder. I'm going to run with this business. I'm going to do it. But you're not a business builder just because you say you're a business builder unless your efforts match what your vision is, right? So if you have a vision for this business to pay your car payment every month, to stash $20 a month in savings so that you can have Christmas paid for before you get there, or $20 a week or whatever. If you have that kind of vision for this and your efforts are that of a hobby coach and you're mentioning it when you want to mention it, and you answer messages as they come in, and you don't really have a set plan for this, it's totally supplemental income and you're totally fine with that, then absolutely do those things, and that's fine. But the reason we're saying this is because we know, because you guys have told us, that a lot of you have a bigger vision for your financial future. And we love that. We have big visions for our financial futures as well. And we want to meet our own goals. We want to help you meet your goals. And the way that you're going to do that is to not just have that vision and say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this business work for me. Amelia's inches away from paying off her debt. And she's busting her butt doing this. She's not busting her butt. She's having fun. She's doing it, but she's staying very consistent. She has checklists that she goes through every day. She has behaviors that she's following every day. She's got setting goals for herself and meeting them. And by staying consistent and by having that, not just a business builder vision and a business builder effort, but she's going to have a business builder outcome. Either one of those is fine, but we just want to really encourage and to be here to support you in your vision that you've told us you want. life happens, things change. You know, events happen in our lives where we have to step back for a few weeks or a month, or we can be more involved in it than we were before. Either way, things change kind of back and forth. And this business, the beauty of this business is it can be very fluid with where you are in your life. You can say, I've just got so much going on. I'm planning a wedding, I'm pregnant, and I'm buying a house, and I just got a new job. And that's great. And your life is going, you know, a million places at once right now, and you just cannot dedicate a set amount of hours this week, but you're just going to drink it and you're going to talk about it when you feel like you've lost a few more pounds. That's fine. Do that and enjoy the extra income. But if you're really wanting to push this forward, I think it's worth it. And I have to do it sometimes myself. I'm like, yeah, I'm totally going to be a leader. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm really not doing my behaviors this month, or, you know, that's okay. When we got this house, that was the first month my business, it didn't dip, but I wasn't as high on the leaderboard, and it was okay because we were crazy busy moving and furnishing the house and trying to do all these things. We just didn't have time to put everything into the business. That's okay. The next month we picked it back up and we kept going. So we really didn't want this training to come across as shaming you for being one way or the other, but really just say, we support you with wherever you are with this business, but we want you to be very honest with yourself. And if you have big goals for yourself, make sure you have that big effort so that it can make a big a big outcome and a big income, and a big outcome.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Really, I mean, that's what it comes down to. And because we are the CEOs of our own company, our own business or whatever, we can adjust, right? And that's the beauty of it. So never feel like you're not enough or you're not doing enough. You're doing the best you can, and that's enough. If you do have huge goals, just to echo what Amanda said, then yeah, you do have to make some sacrifices, you know? I mean, maybe you can't watch that Netflix thing that you want to watch. You have to answer messages or, you know, think about what you're going to post over the next couple of days because you're super busy over the next couple of days and you have to pre-plan. So anyways.
The other reason I was going to just kind of tag on to that, I know that there have been a lot of questions in the Grind Tribe group, like, am I doing this too much? Am I going to bother people? Why am I not seeing the outcome I saw the first couple weeks? One thing that's kind of fun with this business is that, like with Beachbody, we were taught to put in all your effort as much as you can, throw yourself into it, immerse yourself into it. And in 5 years, you're going to gradually see, you know, that upturn, but you got to put everything into it right now. And I think because this coffee thing really sells itself, in the beginning, you say like 2 things about it and everybody bought coffee. But that doesn't last forever. You have to then start riding that wave and keeping the effort behind it. So it kind of tricks you, I think, at first, where everybody's really excited at first, and then you're going, well, now it's failing. Now what am I doing wrong? You can't slip down to less effort if you want to still have those high incomes. And so I think part of this too was sparked just by questions saying, why did it change, you know, a couple months into it? It's because now this is when the work part of it starts. It's great and lucky and fortunate that this business throws the money at us that first month or two. And they're like, here's more money. Here's more money. You didn't have to do anything. But then you to keep that going.
Right. And you're right, because after 4.5 years, you know, in 4.5 years, I only had 1 good year. And the rest of them, I was at my desk, and my mother can tell you, they'd come to visit and I'd be here for 10 hours a day at my desk working. And I wasn't just staring at my computer. I was working. I was inviting. I was doing all the things day after day after day, and I was not reaping the income benefits. But coffee is very different. And I believe it's because of the comp plan, and it is because of the products. We have an amazing thing here. But I know it can get frustrating when at first you put it out there and everybody's like a seagull on a piece of bread, right? They're like devouring that thing and no other seagull is going to get it. It's insane. Mm-hmm. It doesn't stop. But then it does kind of stop and it tapers off. And I've gotten to the point now where, you know, I'll post something and I might get 1 or 2 comments or no comments. And I'm like, what the heck? You know, that was a good post. It was like, summer's coming. probing questions and like, I was just, you post and you like wait for people to just bombard you with messages or comments, and then it doesn't happen and you're like, okay, well, I suck. But you don't. It's just the way that it happens. And I will tell you that people will watch you for a while, especially if you're new to this. So even though I was a Beachbody coach for 4.5 years, people who were watching me for years finally bought something from me when I was with them. But I started this in October, and I still have people from October that are now buying in May. So they had to say, like, is Stacy really in this? Does she really believe in this product? They have to watch you. So do not think for 1 second, because you put up a post like I did yesterday about that hater, and I don't even know how many comments, like 90? That's unheard of. 90 comments just because they want me to feel like, oh, don't even listen to them. You're awesome. You rock. Okay. But you put something about coffee and you get 0. But that just is proof that if I put something about a hater and I get 90 comments, that those people are seeing my Magic Coffee post too. They're just not commenting because they're not there yet. But they're seeing it and they're watching. So the more that you post and the more that you're consistent, the more they say, yep, Christy's in this thing. Yep, Amelia's in this thing. Shirley's in this thing. Yep, Mary, we're all here. They're not going anywhere. You post that enough and people are going to be like, okay, fine. Like, I give up, So you just have to do it, even though you might not see the benefit right now. It's working. Things are behind the scenes are happening. So you have to be consistent and just trust and keep doing it. Amanda mentioned the list or the checklist. If you do not have them and you want the checklist, if you don't know what that means, it's a tracker. If you don't know what that means and you want it, talk to the person who invited you in the business, like your sponsor rep, and they'll get it to you from either me or Amanda. Okay, if you don't know what that means and you want it, maybe you're new or you're watching this call after the fact. We have lots of stuff that you could fill up if you want. Make lots of lists and so that's an option if you're a paper pencil person like me. All right. So that pretty much concludes everything that we had. Do you guys have anything else that is pressing that you want to discuss or anything you want to add that we talked about or any questions that maybe you have? Go ahead, Chrissy.
So when you make that list of 50 to 100 people, how do you approach them? Like, I don't want to just say, hey, what's going on with the coffee? I know there's little things like, oh, I saw you liked my post, or I saw how are your kids, stuff like that. But how do you get fit into the coffee part of it or, the product?
So what I did and what I do, and it really seems to be effective because there's so many people selling so many things on social media, and the second they get an icky message, it's such a turnoff, and they delete it. They don't even answer it. They don't even want to know, right? So we definitely don't want to do that. So let's say Joanna is your friend and you have been watching her on her page and you know a little bit about her. You might not even have met her in real life, but she has 2 kids and one of them, her youngest is going to kindergarten. And so this is the last summer that the kindergartner will be home. You could just send her a message and be like, hey, Mama, I just was thinking about you today because I remember when, or I'm there too, or just if you hit the emotion of where the person's at. That sounds so bad, but that's true. Like it's not playing on their emotions, but in a way it's getting them to feel like, oh wow, she's at a point in her life where I'm at. And you could have like a real girl to girl conversation. They will ask you. You will not, I promise you will not have to say anything. It might not be the first message. You might go back and forth for a little bit, but then when you do approach them about it, let's say you talk back and forth for a couple days and then they don't answer, or it's sort of like the conversation ends itself. You could very well, in a week or so, go back to that person and be like, hey, I'm not sure if you caught my post that I just did, but I'm so excited about this group that's starting June 1st. And I would love to have you as a part of it because I think you're super cool. Or, you know what I mean? Because then it's not icky. It's not like, hey, join my group. It's like, hey, we just had a conversation. Remember, You know what I mean? So it's more like, let's start this conversation, and then if they don't ask you in a week or so, you could invite them to something, and it won't be icky at all. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And I totally just made all that up, so I'll have to rewatch it if you want verbiage. But yeah, I mean, we can put together some scripts, definitely, to get some cold messages that are not icky going.
And I did, Amelia actually asked me the other day, she said, and correct me if I'm wrong, Amelia, that you had somebody that you wanted to talk about the business opportunity with. And so you tried to do this casual back and forth conversation, and then it just kind of died off. And you really know that she would be great at this, but like, how do you just throw it out there? And I say, and everybody's going to be different, and this is going to have a lot to do with your personality, because if it doesn't sound like you to say this, don't say it. So really figure out like how to use your voice with this. But I told her what I would say if it just kind of died off and a couple days went by with nothing. I would say, I just have to ask you. I'd be dying. You know, I keep kicking myself in the foot for not bringing this up, but you know, you've been liking all my posts, and I totally don't want to be creeper and ask you if you're interested in the biz, but I feel like you'd be so great at this. And if you know, what did I tell you, Amelia? Like, you'd probably be better to tell you what I said, or to tell them what I said.
No, that's exactly it. Because she was liking all of my posts, and I was like, okay, like it just dropped off. What do I say? And no, you're right. You're right on the money.
All right. So, you know, so just be honest and just put yourself out there and say, girl, I will, you know, I'm kicking myself for not asking this the other day, but I'm just curious. Are you liking all my posts because you're just being super supportive cheerleader friend, or are you liking my posts because you're secretly asking, like hoping that I'm going to ask you if you're interested in it? And if she said, no, I'm seriously just being a cheerleader, be like, totally fine. I just want to make sure, because if I didn't ask you, I'd be wondering this for the next 5 years. And, or maybe, because, you know, a lot of times when we say on our posts, you know, comment below or message me for more information, or if you're interested in the business, let me know. Some people don't want to do that. They'll just like it. And
Right.
Maybe that like is their way of being like, hi, can you talk to me? I'm gonna like another one. Somebody come and talk to me. I don't want to like put myself out there and message you. I don't want to comment below and have anyone else see me. I'm just going to keep liking your stuff until you ask me about it. So, you know, and maybe, I don't know, what was her response? Did you ever message her?
I haven't yet, because I saw her last night, and I just haven't yet, but I do plan on asking her, and I will let you guys know. I'll post it in the Grind Tribe chat.
Yeah, let us know how that goes, because it doesn't have to be business-like.
Right.
It really needs to be your personality, because what it boils down to is each of us on this call, so there's 15, 16, 17, 18 people, we all have all of the exact same products available at the exact same price to the world. But people are going to choose one of us over the other because of who we are as individuals, who, you know, our personalities, our connections with them, our support for them of helping them lose the weight or helping them plan this out. They're choosing us, not the products necessarily. So make it your voice, but you definitely do not have to be all, you know, to whom it may concern when you're trying to propose the business to somebody. You can just say, you are all over my coffee posts and I love that about you. And are you interested in more? And if they say no, just be like, totally fine. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing a sign or something.
And what I do, and you totally do it tonight, because I usually have a call about our team call. Like, and I took a picture, it's all ready, but I never posted it yet. So after the call, I'm going to post it about being in my pajamas with some wine and some water and like hanging out with my girlfriends, talking about our business. Like, that's literally what we're doing, right? Like, I'm not lying about it. This is what we're doing. We're training, we're hanging out, we're getting to know each other. And I have a list that I will go down and be like, listen, there was a couple spots on our team call that are missing, and I know that you would be perfect in that spot because you would just fit in amazing with these team of women that I'm working with. And I just had to throw that out there. You might totally not even be interested, and that's totally okay. But I can't not ask you, because on the call, I felt like you were the missing piece. That's so corny. Don't use that line. But do you know what I mean? Like, it's our team call. Like, we're missing you. You're missing from our team because you're awesome. So I could totally say that to my however many people are on this list after the call, because chances are that they saw my post, or they will see it, They know that I'm being truthful, that I had a team call. And I was thinking about them while we're talking and hanging out with our team. So that is not icky. That is like, I really think you would be awesome. And you really are. Like, you're not, this isn't a lie, Amelia. You are thinking about this girl. So, I mean, you could say something as silly as that. We just got off our team call, and I really think you would be awesome as a part of it. You know? Silly as that.
Screenshot. Just kidding.
Like, do you see these black dots? You are there at the bottom.
Can I propose homework for us to do? Not homework, but like a task for us to do after this call?
Sure.
To kind of identify what your goal is for this business. What do you see yourself doing with this business moving forward? Sorry, we're doing math homework in the background. And take it to your sponsor rep and just say, like Amelia's done this with me. She's like, Amanda, my goal between now and the end of the month is to do X, Y, Z. So please hold me accountable. And I'm like, all right, I will nag you every day if that's what we need to do. But she's doing the behaviors. She's meeting the goals. I haven't nagged her even that much yet, but just putting that out there to me and letting me know what her goals are, I think helps her know that now somebody else knows what her goals are. So she better darn well do what she's trying to do. Only if you want to, but I think it would be an important conversation to have with the person that invited you into this business, if it's something you want to be held accountable for. And because if you're saying, I want this to happen, this is my goal for next month, this is my goal for 6 months, this is my goal for a year from now, and you don't know how to get there, your sponsor rep can help you formulate a plan to get there and can give you the tools to get there, because you can have big goals, but if you don't have the tools that we're using that are helping us build really fast, then you just have this goal, but you don't really know what to do with it. So we're here to help you.
Absolutely. All right. Does anybody have anything else?
I have a question.
Oh, here, baby.
Sorry.
Nope.
How do you smooth things over? Like, there's a couple people that I've thrown it out to that I would love for them to join the business, and then silence. It's like we've had these conversations, like about beach trips and stuff like that. We've opened it. It's not weird or awkward. And then I throw out there, hey, I know you really liked the product. You really enjoyed it. You're looking forward to ordering more. I'd love to have you on my team. And then silence. How do you go about after that? Just returning to normal? Do you just kind of ignore it and just go back to normal relationship and not mention it again? I mean,
I keep going with it and asking, not like every day, but I have looked at my messenger and like, okay, so I asked him last Wednesday, so it's been a week, I'm asking again.
Okay.
4 days, I'm asking again.
Okay.
And I would just throw it out there and be like, sorry, did not mean to make things awkward. We don't have to talk about it again if you don't want to. Like, still be my friend.
Yes.
Okay, because that's what I don't want to do. I don't want to lose friends. I don't want to make it weird. I just, I've got friends that I think they'd be great on my team. I would love to have them. So I threw it out there, and then it was like dead silent.
And maybe now's not the right time, but you put that, like, you planted that seed.
Okay.
And so maybe they think about it for the next 8 months. There have been people so Jessie started right about when I started, right, Jessie? You were like one of my first people. And people who said maybe later, but not right now, or I guess I'm going to see how you do after a month, are seeing Jessie's results. And like, I want to put Jessie on a poster and be like, see, you should have started when Jessie started. And so those people are, I planted that seed a long time ago, and now they're seeing other people's results who started when I was asking them, and they're like, dang, I could have started then. So you're planting the seed regardless, but don't lose friendships. This is not anything, nothing network marketing is worth losing friendships over. And it can be done very easily. You can lose friendships very easily if you do it the wrong way. Yeah. So always, I just make a joke out of it. I'm like, oh my God, I totally did the network marketing, Valentis vomit. I'm so sorry. Please be my friend again.
Thank you.
See, I have the opposite though, because I have all these people at work that are not going to work in the summer, and they're like, oh, well, how much does the coffee cost? And I'm like, well, it's like $2 a day. It's a 30-day tub. And I said, and you know what? If you're not working the summer, you might think about, joining. I said, look, I make a lot of money doing this. It's a lot of fun. And they're like, oh, no. It's so hard to get them to pull in. and they're not working the summer. You know, you think they want to make extra money, but it's almost like they're afraid. I don't know.
Yeah, and they are
What do you
because, you know, other companies, a lot of them, it's not structured this way. The comp plan isn't structured this way. So you really do have to work for years for really hard. And the product isn't something everybody uses every day, so it's harder to sell. So you get less sales and you get less volume and you get less recruits for reps. And so this company, though, is different. And people don't, whether they don't believe it or they don't see it or they just think all network marketing is the same and they've like washed their hands of it and they have their opinion and you're not changing it. It is sad, but I think if you keep doing what you're doing and, you know, you're honest with things and you share, they'll come around, and it might be a year from now and they will regret that they didn't jump in earlier because, you know, this company is going places. So, but
Yeah.
I
And
finally got more
the
people
other
to try it today, so.
they what?
I finally got 2 more people to try it today.
Good.
And they could use it. You know?
Don't say that.
no, don't say that. Us.
You look like you could use some weight loss coffee.
I absolutely don't. No, I don't.
The other thing that I said,
It's so funny asking them because they're heavy. Do you know what I mean? You're almost afraid to ask them because you don't want to insult them.
Right.
You know? So I went in and I showed them a picture of me in college, the other teacher in the room, and I said, oh, remember I told you about the coffee? I said, did you still want to try it? And the one girl goes, yeah, I do. And so I started talking to her about it, and then the other girl that is really heavy, she's like, oh, well, what about you? What are you doing? And then she goes, I was doing coffee, and I just so happen to have a hot chocolate sample in my bag, because I carry my bag everywhere. Even my husband and I go out for the evening, and my bag goes in the car, just in case someone asks for a sample.
That's right.
So, never know. But you know, sometimes it's hard because when you see people that are heavier, you almost are afraid to approach them because you don't want to insult them.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, weight is a touchy subject, so you have to go at it in a certain way. But yeah,
you do. It's hard, but I just want to get that one more ruby.
Yeah, you will.
Maybe I'll get there.
So the one other thing I was going to just throw out there real quick, I know we're way over our time, but if you have people in your group who are referring a ton of people, I know we've touched on this before, who are referring people and adding people to the group, it's fine to say, hey, do you realize you're doing exactly what I'm doing, only I'm making money doing it and you're not? And, you know, and you can be funny with that. I've had people who have added, you know, their mom, they've added their neighbors, they've added their coworkers to the group. And I'm, you know, and I've said, hey, have you ever thought about doing this? You're bringing in half my business this month. And sometimes it's still a no, and that's okay. And honestly, the answer that I've given to several people is that is okay. I love referrals. You just keep referring people to me. I'll keep making the commission off them. And I'll send you like a little thank you gift or a little, you know, whatever. But when people realize that they're doing exactly what you're doing, but they're giving you the business and you're making the commission, sometimes that gets the wheel turning too.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else? Real quick. We're right at 45 minutes. I like to keep it 30 to 45 just because, you know.
Stacy, can you just real quick say, because there's that little trick about you're accumulating points, you know, if they've been a customer for a few months, can you touch on that just real quick since we're right there?
So let's say that a customer has been purchasing coffee since December every month. And so she has a place in your genealogy since December. So everybody who signed up after her, rep or customer, is under her, and everything they do is accruing her volume. Now she's not a rep, she's not doing anything to earn that, but that's how Valentis is structured. customers and reps, they all go in your genealogy tree. So anytime anyone orders or signs up as a customer or a rep and gets placed under that person, that volume continues to accrue on their team leg. So essentially, you could be talking tens of thousands of points in volume over several months or even years. And if they just did the minimum, they would be getting paid really quick because they're leaving all that money on the table because they signed up and didn't actually work the business. They just were accruing the volume, the binary volume. So they're leaving that money on the table every week. And that's going to be different for everybody. And you really can't tell them exactly what they're leaving on the table because you don't know what efforts they will match. But you can be like, listen, there's like 4,000 volume points here. You're like 1,000 from the next rank up. Emerald is 5,000, right? So you just have to do your leg and you would be making money. So there's ways to word that, but that's pretty much that in a nutshell. Like they're accruing volume as soon as they sign up, which is not the norm, by the way. Normal network marketing companies are not structured that way. So that's a huge plus for us. All right. Okay. I'm glad you guys talked tonight and asked questions. Sometimes everybody's so quiet and then it's like, but anyways. All right. Thank you guys for coming. Appreciate it. Appreciate your time. Love seeing your faces. And if you guys have any questions, let us know. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye, guys.